off that mask. You don't need it.
What do you think you'll see if I do?
The face of my son.
Kylo has a tremble in his voice when he says, "What do you think you'll see if I do?" When our bodies are experiencing heightened emotions, the logic centers of our brain go offline and our natural instincts kick in. When our voices stutter and tremble, this is the logical centers trying to maintain in control of what's being said. This is part of the fight, flight, freeze response and is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system.
Your son, he's gone. He was weak and foolish, like his father. So I destroyed him.
That's what Snoke wants you to believe. But it's not true. My son is alive.
Kylo's stance reveals a lot about his thoughts and feelings. He's displaying what's called the power pose. His legs are spread wide apart and he isn't shielding any of his vitals. He may be doing this intentionally to give himself confidence and make him feel more in control. The power pose, also known as postural feedback, has been used by celebrities and politicians the world over to try and make themselves look and feel more powerful. Studies have found that postural feedback increases testosterone by 20% and decreases cortisol, which is the hormone responsible for anxiety, by 25%. Thus, it is actually an effective tool if you want to feel in control.
No. The Supreme Leader is wise.
Snoke is using you for your power. When he gets what he wants, he'll crush you. You know it's true.
Kylo's proxemics, which is the distance between two people, changes when Han comes near him. This is a distancing behavior. In short, a distancing behavior is a way for the brain to put distance between itself and a stressor. We do this out of fear. When our subconscious believes that we're in any form of danger, it tries to get away from it. Kylo steps back as he fears his father coming closer to him. He feels threatened and afraid, not in a physical way, but an emotional way. In our minds, stress is stress. Our mind sees stress and no stress. Stress can be caused by emotional stress or stress caused by threat of injury. Han is causing Kylo a large amount of emotional stress, and our body responds in the same way as if it were a physical threat.
It's too late.
No, it's not. Leave here with me. Come home. We miss you.
Han's proxemics change as he steps in closer to Ben. This shows that he feels no fear toward his son, as he's willing to put his vitals closer to the potential stressor. Proxemics give off so much information, despite only being measured in distance. The change in proxemics is important to notice. Stepping forward says not only that Han doesn't fear his son, but also that he's trying to connect on an emotional level. I know much of what I say is stating the obvious, but the idea is that you take these nonverbal cues and you learn them, so that when you see them in the real world and the meaning isn't so obvious, you have something to work with.
I'm being torn apart. I want to be free of this pain.
Kylo's lip quivers here, which is a micro-expression. A micro-expression is a very short, non-verbal cue that shows our true emotions. These are so important as they are the most difficult to conceal, and usually express the most genuine of emotions. Kylo is experiencing significant emotional stress, and the lip quiver, like the voice tremble, is caused by the logical centers of our mind attempting to control the expressions being given off. He then puts his tongue to the roof of his mouth, which is again another way of the logical centers in the brain trying to respond to the emotional stress. This could also be taken as a pacifying behavior.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Will you help me?
Yes, anything.
Kylo then does a distancing behavior with his eyes. He looks to the floor when he contemplates killing his father. Looking away is a distancing behavior. However, looking to the floor is a sign that someone is feeling either submissive or ashamed. Now, Kylo clearly doesn't feel threatened by Han in any way, so I would say he feels shame for what he's about to do. He then does rapid head movements, which is another pacifying behavior. A pacifying behavior is a way for the limbic system to release stress. Basically, when we experience stress, it has to be vented, and our brain does this by using pacifying behaviors. Kylo again looks to the floor as a sign of shame. I think it's at this exact point that he decides to kill his dad. He appears to get more calm as he looks down. He holds his gaze to the floor looking at his helmet, trying to avoid eye contact with his dad as much as possible. He's deeply ashamed of what he's about to do, but has made up his mind. Notice he doesn't cry anymore. His eye contact is normal and he doesn't do any pacifying behaviors. He is going to kill Han.
Thank you.
Only after he's killed Han does he start exhibiting pacifying behaviors and visible emotions. He has built up so much emotional stress, and he releases it here. When Han touches his face, he looks down ever so briefly, showing that he feels remorse again for what he did. He didn't want to do it, but he felt like he had to. His eyes flicker here and he moves his head. These are all pacifying behaviors, but also show deep internal conflict within himself. He's unsure what to do and whether or not he did the right thing. This scene is brilliant. So much emotion and so much detail is displayed by these actors. The quality of acting is so good and it makes it pretty much impossible to criticize. Adam Driver is able to display Kylo's massive internal conflict with only his body language, and it's so well done. It reminds me very much of the Breaking Bad scene where Jesse is forced to kill Gale. I think anyone could watch this scene and know exactly what's going on without any context. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content, and also check out my Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further. Thanks for watching.